Hello everyone, it's Andrea, or Miss Fackelman to my students, and today we are going to draw perspective trees. If you watched my video on perspective drawing, you'll remember I discussed the rules of one-point perspective. This is a method and study that artists use to capture how objects get smaller as they get farther and appear larger as they get closer. In my video on perspective drawing, we drew checkered hallways with designs that lined up with a single vanishing point. One-point perspective is very useful when you want to draw a realistic-looking room or interior of a building. For this assignment, we will not be drawing vanishing points or be using rulers, though if you want to use a ruler for this assignment, you are more than welcome to. We will be drawing trees with a view from below. The trunks will look wider on the border of the paper because this is where the viewer is at the base of the trees, and the trees will look smaller as they get towards the middle because this is where they will appear higher and be getting farther from the viewer. Now, please grab a piece of paper, a pencil, find a comfortable place to work, and let's get started. Now, to draw our perspective trees, we first need to draw that area in the middle where all the trees are going to meet. What I do when I'm drawing my perspective tree pictures, I'm going to draw a little circle. Now, you do not want this circle to be big because this is the empty space that goes right in the middle of the tops of those trees. If you make it bigger, you're not going to have a whole lot of room to draw your trees. So make a small circle. It should not be any bigger than an egg. All right, now I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to draw a few lines that come from off my paper and meet right here on the edge of my circle. Now let's draw a few lines, I'd say about 5 or 6, and draw them coming from somewhere off the paper till they touch the side of this circle. Now I've drawn the sides of the trees that I'm going to make. Right now we need to draw the tree trunks. Remember, the closer to the edge we are of the paper, the wider the tree trunks are going to be. So let's decide how wide we want each of these trees to be. I want mine to be right here. And I'm going to draw another line that starts over here, comes toward the middle, and then ends right here on the very end of the first line that I drew. Now I have my first tree trunk. Now I'm going to turn my paper around, decide how wide I want this tree trunk to be. It has to be about the same width as the other trees that I'm going to do. For me, it's about the width of my finger. I'm gonna make a little mark right here and then draw the other side of the tree trunk starting right here and make it keep going and going until it touches this line. All right. Now, one thing I do not want to see students doing, I'm sure a couple of you were thinking that you would just draw a straight line that runs parallel, but then suddenly closes over here. No, that's not what we want our tree trunks to do. I'm going to erase this mistake right here because the tree trunks get thinner and thinner the farther they get towards the middle of our paper. So this line should be going towards the end of the paper, so it almost looks like a spike. There we go. Now continue drawing the other side of each of your trees, but make sure that the line gets closer and closer to the other until they finally meet at that circle. All right, now, one more. All right, I finished my tree trunks. All right, I have finished my tree trunks, but do they actually look like trees yet? Not really, no. What we have to do is add branches. Now keep this in mind, the branches are going to seem bigger or closer towards the edge of the paper, but as you go towards the middle of the paper, near the circle, the branches are going to look smaller and shorter. I'm going to start down here. If you've had me as your art teacher before, you know that the letters that we use to make tree branches are Y's and V's. So I'm going to start by drawing 2 Y's towards the bottom of this tree. Start by drawing 2 lines to make the base of each Y, then draw 2 Ys. There we go. But I want these to branch out more. I'm going to add the letter V to each side of my Ys. And then after I do that, I decided I'm going to add another V to each Y. If you want to make them branch out a bit more, that's fine. Just keep in mind, they're probably going to cross over the other branches that you draw for your trees. I'm just going to add a couple more V's because I don't want to add a V to every single part of my branch, because there are some branches that don't go out as far as the others, and they shouldn't look so even. Otherwise, they won't look as natural. All right, I've done my 2 bottom branches. Just keep in mind, you don't have to draw these branches at the exact same level. If you want to do another one that's down here, whoop, and make it look a little thicker because it's closer to the edge of the paper, go right ahead. I'm going to draw another V, and then another V, and another. There we go. Now I'm going to start moving my way up this tree trunk. Once again, I'm going to start with a Y, and then I'm going to draw some V's on each side of that Y, and then draw some more V's coming out of those. There we go. But I don't want to make them too big because the higher up they are, the smaller they should look. Now I'm going to draw some smaller Ys with some smaller V's so they look like they are farther away. Now I'm going to draw some more branches way up here. They're going to be so small, so tiny, they're going to look very far away. And you don't even have to make them that visible. All right, now in this picture, it looks like we are standing or laying on the ground near the bottom of a tree so we can look at how high up it goes. I want you to do this with every other tree that we have drawn here. All right, here is my picture. I love how the trees came out. And one thing I love about this project, when you are drawing perspective trees, you finish the branches and then you're done, you can make it look like it's any season that you want or any mood you want. You can add little green bushes above to make the leaves, or you could make them orange or red or yellow depending on what season you want it to be. You could add flowers. Just keep in mind that the flowers towards the edge of the paper need to look bigger and they need to slowly get smaller as you work your way towards the middle of your paper up here. And if you want, you don't have to put anything in the trees. You can color them brown or black, and you can make it look like it's winter time and make it snow, or you could make it look like it's creepy out. Make the branches black and then color a purple sky and maybe draw some bats all around. Now what you need to do is color this picture using solid colors. You shouldn't be scribbling, but you can color this however you want. Don't worry about shading like I discussed in previous videos. Don't worry about adding any highlights. What you can do is color the sky whatever color you want. You can add bushes and flowers and other things in the trees, or don't. But I want you to color this without scribbling and make it however you want. If you don't have any colors at home, that's absolutely fine. You can make really good use of your pencil and color in the trees. But if you color a little more lightly, you can make a nice soft gray and add some gray clouds above, or use gray to make the bushes of leaves and tufts that are in the branches. So everyone, decide what coloring utensils you're going to use for this stage in your assignment, play some nice music, and continue and finish your perspective tree. I finished my perspective trees. I tried to include all of the fall colors because I wanted to make a nice fall landscape, and for my trees, to make sure that they looked bigger the closer they were to me or to the edge of the border, I tried to make those tree branches look bolder or closer, and then made the other branches look thinner and thinner the farther and closer towards the middle they got. All right, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're new to my channel, click subscribe. If you want to say what you enjoyed about this video or leave a suggestion for what we should draw next, leave a comment below. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you all next time.